AEW Road Rager will be live Wednesday, June 7th on TNT. This is AEW's big show where they're going to be returning to live audience in front of fans outside of Jacksonville. It's going to be live from Miami, Florida. They've got a huge show with, guess who? A tag team main eventing the show. It's going to be action-packed. Going to see Jake Hager and the Inner Circle in action against members of the Pinnacle. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall in a strap match. MJF and Jericho having a face-to-face parlay. And also, we're also going to have the debut of Andrade El Idolo in AEW. A lot to talk about here. Trevor, give me your just preview, your initial thoughts on this card and this event that AEW is doing.
It's loaded. It's very loaded card, which at this point is pretty much the MO. It's great to see him back on the road. It's great to see their first show this star-studded. I can't wait for it. And hard as hell making this something you can actually see without paying for it. You know what I mean? They're so smart.
Oh yeah,
marketing genius, honestly.
Oh, dude, and AEW's they're gonna be on a tear of special shows. The week after, next week they're gonna have Fyter Fest, and then Fyter Fest Part 2 the week after, and then they're gonna.
So Fyter Fest is coming up after this.
Literally the week,
wow.
one week from today, and then you got Fyter Fest Part 2 the next week, and then you got Fight for the Fallen, and then they got AEW Homecoming, and then like very shortly after that they're gonna do Rampage's debut. AEW is gonna in the next few weeks is gonna have a lot of big main event level shows. I think they're gonna have the live crowds. It's gonna make up for the lack of crowds and excitement during the pandemic. I can't wait to see it. Let's talk about this card though. First, let's talk about Jake Hager, Santana, and Ortiz versus FTR and Wardlow. A little bit of a mixed tag team, six-man tag team match rather. What do you think about this match, and what do you think might happen?
I think it's. You know what? I love how they're continuing the feud between the two. I also like how Conan is on their side too. I love that. It was good to see him on TV after so long. But yeah, man, I think it's gonna be an amazing match. The Pinnacle and Inner Circle have great matches. Had some great matches so far. A few botches here and there, but they work well together. Glad to see it. I think it's gonna be a good one.
I think so too. I think what I'm excited to see is kind of like the fallout between what happened with the FTR and Conan and Tully Blanchard. That whole segment, I thought that was a money segment. By the way, Conan and Tully Blanchard cutting promos in 2021 better than like half of WWE. Most of WWE.
Who thought we'd see it though? Who thought we'd see something?
And it was great. Conan was amazing in that promo. By the way, big shout out to Conan. Conan is money. Just give him a mic. Give him a podcast. Give him something. He's money on the mic. Great build for this match as well. For my prediction, I think they're going to put over FTR and Wardlow. Kind of keep building these heels, and they're going to probably cheat to win, but it's going to be a fun match. Like, there's so many great matchups within this match that I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Cool. Let's move on and talk about this mixed tag team match. Orange Cassidy and Kris Statlander versus the Blade and the Bunny. So last week, Kris Statlander took on the Bunny, and after the match, the Blade actually took some brass knucks and knocked out Orange Cassidy cold. And so this has led to this match. I think you're going to see a lot of fire out of Orange Cassidy when he gets his hands on the Blade here. What are your thoughts on this match?
Another good match. And guess what? Have you noticed most of this card is tag team matches? So, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be another good one. Again, Butcher, Orange Cassidy, is this the Blade, right? Blade and Orange Cassidy. Together are money. I've seen them wrestle before. Great match, great chemistry. Both are great athletes, and it's great to see Statlander back. I love the Bunny too. The women's division is so stacked. I love it. It's amazing.
huge ups to Kris Statlander and the Bunny for that match they had last week. On Saturday Night Dynamite. That was great. I remember I was marking out to it live right here on the channel. If you want to go back and watch that. But it was an amazing matchup. I thought that they have great chemistry. And Kris Statlander, look, I said it before. I'll say it again. If she didn't get injured last year, she would have been the women's world champion by now.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to push her to.
And that's where she's going to go eventually. And I like the fact that she's teamed up with Orange Cassidy. These are like two main eventers, and the Blade and Bunny are going to benefit from being with them. At the end of the day, I'm rooting for Orange Cassidy and Kris Statlander, and I think they're going to win. I think they're going to send the fans home happy with this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to win, but who knows? Who knows?
Yep. Let's keep it going. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall in a strap match. This is going to be the culmination, I guess, of their feud that's been going on for the past few months now. The Factory and the American, what is it? The Nightmare Factory, rather.
Nightmare Factory.
Yep. So this is I guess, the big culmination in their feud. Worth to note, QT Marshall has already lost to Cody Rhodes once at Blood and Guts. So it's going to be interesting to see when this strap match. QT Marshall laid out the challenge. We're probably going to see some members of the Factory and the Nightmare Factory be involved in this match in some way. But I like the
Nightmare Family, by the way.
Nightmare Family, rather. Sorry, thank you for correcting me. But yeah, I think this is going to be good. I like the strap match. It reminds me of old 1970s, 1980s, Southern wrestling. The strap matches back then were great. So, go look those up. But and if there's anyone who's going to have a great strap match, you would think it would be Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall. They're very old school individuals. What do you think about this match?
Again, I agree with what you said. A great old school feel. I don't believe I've actually seen a strap match in a very long time, actually. I was trying to think about that earlier when I found out this match was happening. I don't believe I've seen one in a while. But it's good to see them bring back old school tropes. And I believe you have the two of the best people to actually do it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be entertaining. They seem to have good chemistry as well. So it could be a good match. I think QT wins this one, actually.
Yeah. I'm actually rooting for QT because Cody's getting a bit of that Triple H vibe. And look, I'm not trying to get heat on Cody, but I'm kind of like, I want to see Cody taking down a notch. I like Cody, but I want to see him taking down a notch. Although when he's in front of the live fans and those fans go wild in Miami, I might just be like, yeah, fuck that, Cody. I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
Who knows?
I'm a very emotional human being. Let's talk about this next match. Andrade El Idolo making his AEW debut against Matt Sydal. We've seen Andrade interrupt Matt Sydal in his entrance, his matches. This has led to this matchup between these two. Matt Sydal is one of the best high flyers in the world. Andrade is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Vicky Guerrero is one of the most heat magnet managers in the entire business.
Into the ring, automatically heat.
And this is, you put all this together, sugar, spice, and everything nice. This is a recipe for a fun match. The excitement of Andrade's debut. Trevor, what are you looking forward to in this match?
I'm looking forward to Andrade shining, and honestly, who else to put him over? Than Matt Sydal. Like, I honestly think this. I think they're gonna put him over, Andrade over. I think Sydal's gonna put him over. I think you're gonna see a lot of high flying from Sydal, and don't get me wrong, Andrade can do it if he wants to too. So yeah, I think you're gonna see a lot of high risk. I think you're gonna see a lot of technique. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Andrade wins.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's a no-brainer. Andrade wins, right? But I also think that if there's any match for AEW to pull out all the stops for, to just let them have like a 20-minute long just belter of a match and let Andrade do everything in his arsenal and showcase it, I think you do it here, because Andrade really didn't have that opportunity when he was on the main roster in WWE. He did it while he was on NXT. He had a great match, I believe, with Johnny Gargano, but he was never able to do it on the main roster. I think this is on a national stage uninterrupted. Like, there's no NBA playoff game tomorrow night or on Wednesday night. There is a lot of there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this, and if you want to take advantage of this here, AEW, You put Andrade over, but you do it in one hell of a match, much like they did with Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega. Andrade wins, but I can't wait to see this match.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. A lot of fun.
We like to have fun on Friday nights, Michael. Last but certainly not least, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, will be taking on the team of Eddie Kingston and Penta in a street fight for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Penta and Eddie Kingston won the Eliminator match to receive this championship match, and they're going on last. This is going to be a street fight, and Eddie Kingston in a street fight. It's going to be entertaining. Trevor, this is going to be great, right?
This is gonna be a great match. It is. Again, I hate that he makes me like him, but I'm becoming a fan of Eddie Kingston more and more. But from the work I see him with on AEW, and I love him and Penta together. I do. I absolutely love them together. You know what? I'm gonna say something that you might find a little crazy.
Oh, go for it.
I think Eddie and Penta win.
Oh, you think they're gonna take the belts off of Matt and Nick Jackson now? Explain yourself.
But see, that's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like, you want to keep heat on Matt and Nick Jackson, so you don't really want to take the belts off them. But the way they set it up, if you think of old wrestling tropes, making them win an eliminator, putting them in this scenario, they win. But it's not 1994. It's not something that you can really tell anymore. And people are loving heel Bucks. But something, I don't know. I think it could happen. I'm not gonna say it will. I think it could happen.
You gotta do a prediction here now. I'm putting you on the spot. Do a prediction.
Fuck it. I'll say yes. Fuck it. I'll say yes. I'll say the Bucks lose it, even though my gut says I'm wrong. But you have me on live YouTube saying that I believe my prediction is going to be wrong, but I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, shades of El Jefe over here from WrestleMania 37 saying Daniel Bryan's gonna win, but knowing full well he wasn't. But yeah, no, I'm going with the mutton chop Bucks. Like this is it's gonna be a fun fight, street fight. And look, if Eddie Kingston and Penta win, I'll mark out. It'll be great. I'm excited. Excited for all outcomes. Who would have thought that in an AEW event?
I know, right? This is gonna be great. This is gonna be so much fun.
Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.